Welcome back to Banished, everybody. Let's start fixing some stuff, shall we? Where we left off, there were quite a few different issues that I needed to resolve, not the least of which being our lack of supply in both stone and iron. And the logs and firewood are being depleted pretty severely as well. A couple of you guys made the note that I completely agree with, the fact that I'm focusing way too much still on my food supply, which, while I was legitimately concerned about it, considering the fact that our expansion is going to eat away at our surplus, I also need to be aware of the fact that we still have quite an abundance of it, and it would be a good idea to probably take a couple of farmers out at least, in the hopes of creating some more buildings, you know, like allowing more laborers to do their tasks outside of the city itself, and you know, pursue further growth elsewhere. Of course, we do have a merchant coming in now, or a trading ship rather, meaning we do have to put somebody in here and see whether or not we can acquire something worthwhile from this guy. Getting 8 iron tools for the cost of this ale is probably a good idea, so let's go ahead and trade for these really quick. It's going to be a nice, quick, easy transaction here. We'll probably only need like 8 barrels or so. Yep, there we go. Trade for that, and oh, we can get 8 more. Alright, well, there we go. Nice even trade. Get more ale, and away you go with your tools, buddy. Pretty much the only reason I have ale is to, well, I guess A is to increase the town's happiness, and then B would be to trade it away in the marketplace. The trading post, rather. It might be even in the marketplace. I wonder if they trade ale amongst themselves in the marketplace in the town square. That would be really interesting. I don't know how they would divvy it up. It's like, can you imagine the civil unrest that would be caused by one of the market vendors wandering into the tavern and just taking a massive stockpile of ale and saying, "Well, you can have this later when it's been properly distributed amongst all of the townsfolk." Like, oh man, we're in the tavern because we want to get plastered, not because we want to be communists. That is not what we go to the bar for, my friend. Anyway, it's time to take away a few more farmers. I think the 2 that I took away might be enough for now, because of course we still got these things that are not being worked. But what I ought to really do is strongly consider putting more people in the forester's position, which I'm exactly going to do that very thing. I also think building more homes is still a good idea, considering the fact that this growth is still just completely stagnated, and there's nothing I can really do about that unless I, you know, am actively attempting to remedy the issue. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and build these 3 homes the way I intended to from the get-go right up there in that area. And I may take away 1 more farmer. In fact, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, especially considering it's winter time right now, and I'm fairly certain these farmers aren't actually doing anything in the midst of winter time. So that'll be a worthwhile pursuit. Look at these cows, man. Did we lose a? I think we might have lost a full-grown cow. Unless it's hiding somewhere in the pasture. I'm pretty sure I don't see it. So we lost a full-grown cow, and we get 2 calves. I don't know if that's really a good trade-off for me, but I suppose we'll take it. Armani and Zachary have recently become students, so that's good. The teacher died. Can't be forgetting that anytime soon. And Mikhail the Forester has died of old age as well. So yes, we are indeed suffering quite a few losses as a result of the first generation dying off. And I'm suspecting we're going to have 2 more of these 82 and 80-year-olds hunters and gatherers are going to be going as well, which I can probably stand to part with. I think I only got 2, yeah, I've got 2 gatherers and 2 hunters. So I was probably going to go down to that realm anyway as far as those, you know, 2 people were concerned. So I suppose it's not that big of a deal. But Tonewall, my laborer, replaced the forester, and I don't really want that to be happening. I've really cut myself short on supply here. These 4 foresters actually need to be only focusing on cutting, which indeed they already are. So maybe I need to do something a bit more drastic here. That in the exact capacity, I'm not sure. Maybe it'll have to do with chopping down some more logs and resources over yonder. Let's go ahead and mark these down for cutting as well as those 2 right there. And let's just go ahead and assume that we're going to have to start chopping down a whole bunch of natural resources in order to have any kind of hope for the future right now. Child number Rents was born. As long as we can just keep on pumping out children, man, we've got enough mid-range... It's weird to describe them in this way, but mid-range civilians, by that I mean folks that are capable of producing more children on their own. Especially this 43-year-old who somehow asexually produced 4-year-old Manus at some point. Kinda wonder what happened there, but I guess it's all for the benefit of humankind, so I suppose I shouldn't ask too many questions, should I? Now, what do we have that are laying down over here? The cemetery and a forester's lodge. Neither of which are going to be really built up or, you know, finished anytime soon. Let's have a good look here. It looks like we've filled the storage barn again as well. What can we take out of there? It looks like the venison is still occupying the majority of the space. So let's put one person inside of the marketplace again, and I'm going to have them just take in a stockpile of about 3,000 venison or something like that. Just so we don't have that issue anymore. I don't want to have to keep worrying about the fact that the storage barn is going to be maximum capacity and there's nothing we can do about it apart from building a new one. But that's not going to happen anytime in our near few years or so. We took away our laborer again, though, so as soon as that market dude is done doing his thing, we're going to have to focus on that again. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take away, like, quite a few of these farmers in the hopes that, A, those crops will grow on their own without too much interference, and B, we're going to be able to use these laborers and builders to get these houses going and hopefully make things work for the future. We're always thinking about the future here, man. Here in Berstatska, all we think about is what to do next. Speaking of which, I think we've made just about the right amount of tools for now, and we can use our blacksmith as a laborer, which would be freaking fantastic. In fact, I'm tempted to take out the tailor for a moment and have him entirely switch professions. For a man that's been doing tailoring for probably a good 3/4 of his life, I may want to make him a woodcutter for a little, you know, the senior citizen bit. Oh my god, this is a miracle right here. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for forever. 10 nomads. God, yes. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay, hold on a second. This is wonderful. This is everything we could have ever dreamed it to be. They're filling up the boarding house. There they all are. Norwoody, Pamelina, Stefanzo, Athrin, Zachary, Berlin, Bentonwall, Montina, and Boniel. 10 beautiful nomads that just inhabited our territory. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in freaking business. Here we go. 10 nomads. We got 9 laborers, all of which are acquiring the various little goods that I've told them to get just now. We're going to, first of all, go ahead and place these farmers back into the crop fields just so we can make sure that we're getting all these little goods that we want. I'm going to immediately put at least a couple of them inside the quarry and a couple of them inside the mine as well. I think I can spare those few laborers there. And then we got laborers working toward these last few houses, so hopefully we can take these guys out of the boarding house and into actual homes pretty soon here. Alright, that is exactly what we needed. Oh, man. What a freaking relief that is. Let's see if I can just go ahead and spare a couple more farmers out of these laborers here. I think I can afford to just have one laborer for now, and instead fill up these mining and stone cutting fields, as it were. So of course, as I was hoping to plan to do before all the deaths started happening, is to eventually have a second forester's lodge out here. And maybe even be able to fill that with a few of these builders that I've got going on. As I believe I've gotten enough homes for myself for at least this next year or so. I think by early summer of year 15, I'm really going to have to start thinking about house expansion again. But between then and now, it may be a viable option for me to look into the possibility of constructing both the cemetery and the forester's lodge down here, utilizing very few of what resources I have, in order to, you know, successfully allow those to expand further. Namely, the room for dead people and the happiness of our citizens wherein, as well as the Forester's Lodge providing us with an even steadier supply of wood. Now, I've just realized another big thing is the fact that I really want to reach a bridge out over here so I can allow myself access to the quick stone and iron. Because, of course, the only source that I'm being provided that, or like the only thing providing me sources of iron and stone at the moment are, of course, the quarry and the mine, as I've pretty much milked it dry outside of going all the way over here on an expedition to God knows where in order to acquire those resources. So it very well may be the case I have to focus just about every resource I've got in the construction of that bridge. I don't know why the builders are refusing to make any progress on this wooden home. I'd also like to know whether or not we have stone in the trading post, because that would be helpful. It doesn't look like... Oh, we do! Wow, we've got quite a bit. Okay, take that away. Use that for construction, definitely. totally fine with putting most of the ale in there. I don't think they really needed that bad. In fact, they are completely happy, so that's good news. More children being born as well. Late summer has been... Oh, wow. Just kidding. I was going to say it's been entirely fantastic, but Aryan the Stonecutter was crushed by a rock, which I guess is a fitting death for a man in his profession, but what are you going to do? 3 children and a student. 4 children. Wow. Okay, so this is looking really stellar, actually. We have done a complete turnaround, man, out of the frying pan and into the comfort of our snuggie. See, that's where you want to be, man. When you've been in the frying pan, ain't nothing feel better than a snuggie, except if you're still kind of in the frying pan and the snuggie catches on fire. Fireproof snuggie, obvious choice. They can have that one for free. Just redirect them to this video. Let me get like a, you know, common claims credit on it, and then we'll be good to go. One more home almost underway in construction, and then they will finally move over to what I believe has already acquired all the resources for, is this wooden bridge. Looks fantastic. And then, of course, after that, as I mentioned, we'll have the rest of this year 14 and a little bit of year 15 in order to hopefully get things going in both the new Forester's Lodge and the cemetery over here in the southwest corridor. Farmers still doing okay, as I figured it would happen this way. The production of food is no longer nearly the supplementary amount that I was hoping it would be. So it looks like as soon as we get this going, I'm probably going to have to even take a miner away and hopefully put one more person inside of the crop fields. 7 out of 8 I think will probably do us well for a while. Although I am worried about the fact that I only have 1 fisherman working out of the probably 8 spaces I could have available if I let that other fishing dock continue to work. But I have finished these homes. These 2 builders will be available to be either fishermen or laborers of some general order very soon here. I kind of want to just let... Oh god, our other fisherman died. Alright, so yeah, we definitely want to have at least 1 fisherman in there producing some sort of food. But it is starting to worry me that our supply of food is in the red. Not well, like obviously we still have quite a bit left over, but well, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong about this. I'd be very surprised if we were still producing enough food to sustain all of the folks we have here now as a result of those nomads showing up. Let's go ahead and take a look at that in late winter and see if that is indeed the case. For now, I think I can afford the stone to get over here and finish this cemetery, so let's go ahead and unpause construction there. Allow them to actually remove some of this to get some more firewood as a result of it, and then we'll probably be good. I'm going to go ahead and let them start planting again as well, because they're pretty much destroying the forest over in this area. You know what I think I ought to do, actually? Is, well, first of all, let's see. The herbalist probably doesn't need to do that much anymore, especially considering I've stopped production there anyway. So maybe I should take advantage of that. The idea of taking away these trees does not sound so so abysmal anymore. So let's go ahead and take away some of these right here. The laborer mark those down for removal. Also get some extra log sources here as well. And I'm really hoping that firewood doesn't become a drastically depleted resource, and I'm hoping that the firewood cutter does not die, because that would be really bad. It looks like we've got a younger person working on the wood chopping there, unless I was completely mistaken. Maybe this is someone completely different. Who is the log cutter? There you are. Citizen Bentonwall. Ah, the nomad. Good. Yes, the nomad Bentonwall, age 39, working at a fair rate in the wood cutting facility. Fantastic. So early winter, we're looking at a slightly higher used to produced ratio, so I'm okay with that. I think we've generated enough of a surplus to not have to worry too much about creating more food sources, and instead we can focus on you know, creating possibly a better streamlined process for generating wood and firewood. I'd very much like to get to the point where wood and firewood are never a concern anymore. I'd love to get to the point where we have like thousands of each and we never have to worry about it again. 8 chickens. I'd love to have chickens, but I doubt I can provide you with what you want, my friend. Let's have a look, though. Only 400 each. If I could just get something. Let's take some let's take some of every single thing we have and see if we can trade him for something of value. Of course, we're gonna be able to bring those back at some point. I'm of the impression that every single source of food he's going to turn down, but I suppose it's worth a shot. I mean, it wouldn't kill me to at least select him and see if anything is of value to him. So it looks like, yeah, pretty much everything. Leather has some value, but let's not give him any food because it's not going to mean much to him. Hide coat and iron tools I'm okay with bringing over, but anything else is just going to be a waste of time. So let's go ahead and just bring these back down to 0. Can I afford to give him the hide coats and iron tools? I guess that's the question I'm asking. Who died? Hunter died of old age. A laborer replaced him. No one is available to replace Ken the Gatherer. That is potentially problematic. Alright, so that's everything I wanted to bring back. Can I make a trade with this man? Can I trade 20 hide coats? Value of 300. I could get at least a chicken out of this. I could get 1 chicken. If I really wanted to, I could. I could get 2 if I were pushing my luck to the extreme. Hang on a second. First of all, I think I need to take away the farmers again and get this construction underway for the cemetery. I'm going to go ahead and try this out. I'm going to take 20 more hide coats and iron tools because I think the acquisition of 2 chickens is worthwhile to maybe set me back a bit as far as my extra tools and jackets are concerned. I don't think that's going to be too big of a risk that I'm taking there. I think having as oh god, wow. That was a lot less than I thought I'd have. Okay. But they got those 40 over here in the marketplace now, right? Or rather in the trading post. Okay, so that's scary. That's not as good as I thought it would be. Oh boy. Well, come on now, give me those hide coats. I need them for trade. Let's see. Let's see them. I think I got all 40 now. Okay, so let's. I don't think I really need to pause it. If I give him 40 of both of these things, I got 920 units. I could get 2 chickens, and I could take down the hide coats to 30. Let's see. I need 2 more of those, and then we'll be good. All right, let's do that. Let's dismiss this trader because I can no longer afford anything he's got, and take these back down, of course. And now, the production of coats and jackets, or rather coats and tools, is of the utmost importance. I believe I just finished the cemetery, so I can get these 2 laborers available to put 1 in here, and then probably just put 1 back into the farming territory, so I can keep getting food. Alright, so I'm happy with this. Having the cemetery is going to be... Wow, that is a much better cemetery. Good lord. Can I, like, destroy this one and move all the dead bodies over here? Do I have a mortician that's capable of doing that? I had a cleric at some point. I still do have a cleric, so that's good. Not a cleric, sorry, a physician. Kind of different things. Let's see. Suppose I'll just leave that for now. That's going to cover my, my dead body problem for a long, long time, so that's a good thing. I've also just lost quite a supply of healthy adult laborers, so that's problematic. But I do have 8 students right now, which is pretty fantastic. At some point, hopefully at the end of this year, maybe even, I'll have a couple of educated laborers coming out. We got 9 now, my word. So the youthful generation is starting to light a little spark here under our butts, and that makes me happy. This is almost the polar opposite of the situation we were in at the beginning of the video, which is really good. I mean, like, we've still got a few elderly folks that are likely to die off and have to be replaced pretty soon, but I'm really hoping that the balance of power is eschewed to the benefit of the youth. Of the youths. 2 youths. As Joe Pesci's character Vincent Gambini would say in the popular 90s comedy My Cousin Vinny. There you go, man. There's that movie knowledge y'all have been waiting for so long to hear me spout out. I know it's been a brutal ride, but we got through it together, didn't we? 2 more students, man. This schoolhouse may fill up. Schoolhouse Rock is up in this bitch. For real. That's a weird way to say bitch. Let's see. Do I want to build that? Probably not. I gotta get a laborer out of here. I gotta get this laborer, and I gotta get him to just chop down every single goddamn resource in this little patch. This is now your world. Nothing matters to you but gathering everything you can find that may be of some use to our townsfolk and bringing it to the nearby stockpile, because this, sir, this is your universe. Who are you? I gotta find out. Hang on a second. This is our guy, Kendon, the 70-year-old Kendon. He's the trader. Apparently acting as a laborer now. Maybe the town is actually working together on this a little bit. Alright, that's good. Not leaving 70-year-old Tendon out to die in the fields. Although that would be a valiant death. That much he can be assured of. So what do we have laid down that we could possibly make our lives easier with? Of course, that Forester's Lodge is still pretty much the only thing. I'm gonna have to consider the possibility of building a marketplace over here, I think. Or maybe it won't really be that big of a deal. I don't know, man. I don't even know if I can build a marketplace over here, to be perfectly honest. I feel like there's, like, zero space for it. This is apparently a big mountain, so that's terrible. Oh, God. It's so close to being allowed, but not quite there. Man. Well, I guess this place is gonna decide for itself whether or not they're gonna share their resources, you know, fairly. That might kind of suck, man. Let's see if they're actually starting to hoard things away. It doesn't really look like it too bad. Let's look at this house real quick. Yeah, they're doing okay. I mean, normally you'd see houses outside of the marketplace vicinity and they'd be hoarding away 1,500 pounds of venison just like the trading post is, but I think they're doing alright. In fact, let's look at the storage barn real quick. Oh, they got plenty of room. Let's go ahead and let the folks have their venison again, man. Let's bring this down to like 1,800 and give everyone the meat. Let them have meat. Let them have my meat. That'll be where we end off today on that questionable quote. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Banished, guys. Leave a like if you're enjoying the series so far. I appreciate that. It helps out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.